Good morning, everyone. It's very early in the morning, as you'll probably see at the clock there. It's 2:45 in the morning, which means we're going flying today. So yeah, most of the house rest, even probably most of the UK, are asleep as well. But no, I'm just about to go to Stansted today, which means we're flying Ryanair. So it's actually my first flight on Ryanair. I haven't actually flown on Ryanair before, so it's going to be an interesting experience today. But so we're going to Berlin for lunch, which sounds a little bit extravagant, but I thought, well, I haven't flown in a couple of months and I really want to go somewhere, so I just made the kind of last minute decision a few days ago to go to Berlin for lunch. Let's go to Berlin. So after a 2-hour drive, I'm in the village of Stansted Mount Fitchett, which is the village nearest to Stansted, and my intention is to take a short train journey from here, because parking at Stansted for the day was going to cost me £60, and that didn't really seem like great value when the return flights were only £35. So, yeah. Plus, I'm just having a little bit of breakfast as well, so I'm just having a Belvita chocolate chip bar. But we'll have something a bit more substantial when we get to the airport. To park here for the day, it was about £3, and then the train fare return was about £5 with a rail card. So, yeah, it was about just over 5% of the cost, if my maths is right, compared to parking at the short stay at Stansted for the day. So, yeah, this worked a lot better. After a short train journey, it's about 10-15 minutes, depending on when you go. And you're here at Stansted Airport just now, and we're making our way to the terminal here. And as you see, it's quite open and airy. So it's not a bad terminal, Stansted, to be fair. And we were able to just go straight through security, as I'd already checked in online. Here at Stansted, you do have the option of buying the fast track security with Ryanair if you wish to. It's about £7.50, I recall the price being, but I chose not to pay for that and just go for the normal queue, and it didn't take too long. The only actual reason it took longer is because I'd left a bottle of lemonade in the bag again, and ended up having to have the bag search for doing that. But the staff were pretty friendly about it, and it was pretty good to have a laugh and a joke with them. So yeah, that made light of the situation. And yeah, we're just walking through the duty-free area now to the main departures area. Now, what I did notice here is there's a lot of people wearing masks here, so I'm assuming things have gotten a lot more relaxed since I travelled. But, I don't know what the official protocol on that is. But nice to see the area busy again, which is great to see. Definitely a recovery in air travel. And I'm just making my way over to the escape lounge. I don't actually have long before my flight leaves, but I thought I'll try and get myself a bit of quick breakfast before I go. Oh yeah, the escape lounge, if you need to find it, it's on the way to the toilets. So yeah, not the most glamorous advertising for a lounge, but there it is if you need to find it. It's about £20 to get in here. I don't know the exact price, as I was using a priority pass membership to get in. But seems to be a fairly good selection of food and drink. And as you can see, I'm just having some sausages and a croissant there as well, with a glass of apple juice. So yeah, it was a good little feed before I got on the plane. And it was quite busy in here as well. So yeah, certainly a lot of people like using the lounge at Stansted to give themselves that more upmarket experience than what they're going to get on the plane they're about to board, I guess. I was literally in that lounge for about 20 minutes, so glad I didn't have to actually pay for it, and my priority pass funded that. And yeah, the gates in Stansted are a bit varied. They can be a bit all over the place. I mean, some of them you have to ride on a tram to get to. In my case, it wasn't too far to walk here. It's probably about 5 minutes to get to the gate, but they are scattered all around the place, so just bear that in mind and just check before you go for your flights. And I was sort of walking down a sort of main bridge area there. It seems to be sort of some pier where quite a few of the aircraft seem to base themselves. As soon as I arrived at the gate, there was quite a queue there already, and you could buy priority boarding if you wanted to, though I wanted to go for the true experience and go for non-priority, but we were through pretty quickly. And as you can see, we're outside now, and as you can see, we have a Boeing 737-800 in front of us. This is actually operated by Malta Air, which is a joint venture between the Ryanair group and the Maltese government, but the experience is much the same. I'm sat in seat 26F for this flight over to Berlin Brandenburg. So yeah, I've only got the value fare, so I just get to put my bag under the seat there, but plenty of space, and as you can see, there's 30 inches of seat pitch there, so yeah, there's plenty of space for this short hop over to Berlin. At the time of filming, one thing to be aware of is Germany do require the FFP2 masks, or the N95 respirators, to be worn on their flights, so just something to bear in mind. As you can see, that's what I'm wearing here. It was quite a short taxi out to the runway, like literally about 5 minutes after we pushed back from the gate, and yeah, we're here at runway 22, ready for departure. I probably missed a trick sitting on the right hand side on the way out, but there is quite a bit to see here. What is interesting there is that the long stay car park is completely empty there, so I'm surprised that Stansted haven't reopened that, because that would have been a lot cheaper than the short stay. So I'm kind of a little bit confused by why that's still closed, but I'm sure there'll be an explanation somewhere. Didn't take us too long to get into the cruise, and the weather wasn't too bad either. So yeah, a bit of cloud around in England, but once you get over Europe, it was quite nice. At this point, the cabin crew started with the onboard food and beverage service. So if you wanted a cup of tea and a biscuit or something, you could certainly buy those on board. I didn't opt for it on this particular flight, but on my return flight I did, which you'll see in the next video. Once the food and beverage service concluded, the next step was the duty free, and then here we have the scratch card round, which Ryanair does offer charity scratch cards, which you can buy. I think it was €2 for 2 of them or something like that on this particular flight. I didn't see anybody buying them, but it's a pretty cool thing to see. I'm not sure I know of many other airlines that have scratch card sales on board, but so something unique to Ryanair there. And shortly after this, we commenced our descent into Berlin. As you can see, the weather is absolutely beautiful over the European continent here, much nicer than it was back in England that day. So yeah, it was a pretty short flight, but yeah, it was pretty good really. I mean, nothing much to say about it other than as I say, the usual Ryanair experience. This landing, as you'll probably see now when we touch down, you'll see the camera shakes a little bit, and that's because it was quite hard, and there was a bit of a reaction from some of the passengers there. Yeah, there's the shake. So yeah, that did catch a few people out, that one. So we had a very short taxi off the runway to our stand, which is currently at Terminal 1 at the moment. I mean, that seems to be pretty much all the flights from Brandenburg are going at the moment. I didn't see any flights going from Terminals 2 or 5. So for now, they all seem to be operating out of Terminal 1. And yeah, we're parked up here next to a Lufthansa regional jet there, and as I say, before long everybody got up and we were off the plane within a few moments. Now remember, because you are flying Ryanair, you will not generally be going to the jet bridge. You'll generally have to walk up some stairs of some kind. So just bear that in mind when you are flying Ryanair. But that is one of the quirks of no-frills travel. Immigration was fairly quick. I think it was through in about 5 to 10 minutes. So the current requirements, you don't generally have to have too much documentation. It is mainly proof of vaccination. The border police officer didn't really seem that interested in looking at it. And yeah, he was like, oh yeah, I'll have a look at your COVID vaccine if you've got it. But yeah, he had a quick glance at it, stamped my passport, and I was in. So yeah, pretty relaxed attitude by the sounds of it. And as you can see, I'm just making my way down to the S-Bahn now to get the train into Berlin. Brandenburg is very well connected to the city via the S-Bahn and many other public transportation options. So yeah, no hassle at all. And this is maybe one of the good airports that Ryanair flies to, where it does actually use the main airport in the city as well, given that Berlin only has one airport serving it now, rather than the previous 3. So yeah, all in all, a pretty good experience with Ryanair. No frills, it was cheap, and yeah, I got myself to Berlin for a pretty good deal, I think. Welcome to very sunny Berlin. It's a bit of a cold wind out here, but yeah, the weather's nice. It's much nicer here than it is in England, anyway. So yeah, I just needed to go and get a coffee first from the Hoppenhof station there. They've got Starbucks there, so that was nice to have and try to speak some German to the staff there. So yeah, I can say thank you to them now, which is good. But yeah, we're just gonna go have a wander around and see what there is. But I think this is a much better day to spend doing something rather than stuck at home in the rain. So yeah, it's beautiful, I have to say. Thanks for joining me in this video, and I'll see you in the next one on my return flight to Stansted. Bye for now.